Hey there, welcome back to Maxx vs. Dark Souls. It's like 11:40 at night. I have to be up in the morning, but a lot of bad shit's happened recently, and I'm like, hey, I'm not irritated enough. Let's play some fucking Dark Souls. But before I do, I wanted to start here at my Dark Souls achievement thing because something interesting happened to me the other day. I don't know about everybody out there in YouTube land, but I have a kind of a quirk when it comes to role-playing games. Things like Skyrim, Dragon Age Origins, places where you could pick your class. And it always happens to me. It's like when I start to play for a while, I suddenly want to try a different class, and I don't know why. So, to kind of head off, it's actually how I burnt myself out on Skyrim because I restarted so many damn times. So to kind of head myself off, I've been on my own, kind of playing as other classes in like the beginning areas of the game. I haven't gone any farther than the bell tower really, and then I kind of get it out of my system, and I delete the character, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be that anymore. Like I can't stand the thief and the wanderer. I'm no good with them. I just they're so weak, and I don't like the way I don't really much care for the dex dodge based playstyle. But anyway, something interesting happened. I was trying to do multiplayer and invasions and things like that, and which is hilarious because everyone has like and the game gear in the second freaking area. How's that work? I wonder. But anyway, something happened. I helped like 3 or 4 people beat the bell tower gargoyles. Only one of which actually needed my help. Everybody else summoned me. They had killed everything, and they made a beeline straight for the boss. And this guy that summoned me and some other guy, he literally two-shotted both of the gargoyles. I don't know what weapon he had. I'd never seen it before. It was like this huge sword that was shooting beams out of it. He like did like a freaking slash, and this giant blue explosion happened. I don't know what it was, but then I got summoned by a guy, and he was just standing there, and he summoned somebody else, and then he started dropping items. So I didn't know what was going on, so I picked him up. And when I picked him up, I got this achievement and this achievement. Because he gave me a lightning weapon and an occult weapon, whatever the hell that is. And I guess, and then he messaged me, hey, you want to trade? And I'm like, I don't have anything. He's like, just, throw down what you got. So I like threw down a couple of helms, and he took them, and he gave me all kinds of weapons, and I didn't, and then, I mean, this went on for like, I'm like, are we going to go kill the boss? Because this went on for like 35 minutes, him and this other guy swapping stuff back and forth, which I guess is one way everyone in the beginning of this game that you see seems to have gear that they couldn't possibly have. That, and I was also told there is a certain glitch in the game that is, I guess, pretty rampant in use. Something to do with one of the boxes, bottomless box or something, and somehow people are getting items that way. I don't know how it works, but anyway, I deleted that character because this guy gave me all this shit, and I'm like, I actually just left. I unsummoned myself, so I thought that was just weird. I picked up 2 weapons and I got bing bing. These things came up, and I'm like, oh, what the frick is going on here? But anyway, let's actually start now.
Mark.
Shut up. Oh, God, look at this. Look at this fucking shit. I am so sick of advertisements and political ads all over YouTube. If I have to watch that, I don't watch, I mute it as soon as I see it. The fucking Mitt Romney commercials. I'm not going to vote for Mitt Romney. I don't want to get into politics here, but I don't vote Republican. I just don't. I hate them all. They open their mouth, and I just wait for them to open their mouth. They immediately say some evil, stupid shit, and I'm like, no. But I have to have this on my fucking Xbox now? It's bad enough that rich, frickin' split liquor, Mormon fuck, has the gall. Here's 2 incredibly rich men, but the guy on the left, Mitt Romney, born incredibly rich, and he's got this ad that is like, I got the chance to start my own business. No, getting the chance to start your own business is not something you're allowed to say when you're born with hundreds of millions of dollars. No. But anyway, that's the political part of today's episode. So let's actually get on to this. Oh, and there's a new DLC. It's also a PC edition. Who gives a fuck about PC? Not me. I hate PC gamers, so that helps. Snobs. Which, hey, fits right in with Dark Souls. But anyway, there's going to be, I guess, some DLC, and somebody asked me, hey, Max, you going to play that too? And I'm like, well, I hadn't really planned on it, but I guess, if it's not too expensive, I ain't paying $60. But, so I looked at some of the notes, and I also looked at the patch notes that I had downloaded when I first started this thing. And I'm not real happy with what I'm seeing, because I'm a single-player guy, okay? I don't give a shit about the multiplayer in this game. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even remember where I was. But I'm reading these notes, and literally it's going, nerf, nerf, this nerf, that nerf, this sucks now, reduce this, nerf that, nerf that, nerf that, reduce the weapon damage, nerf this, nerf that. I mean, it was just like, I'm getting a headache. Like this shield I got right here, this eagle shield, this is a great shield. And after the add-on, or whatever the hell's coming, this shield I have right now will not be able to block 100% of damage. It will only block 95%. Which, like, okay, it's only 95%, but I'm like, a great shield that can't block all the damage? And, I ran across a topic some guy on GameFAQs asked about it, and man, they jumped down his throat. And it was something that was really bothering me, because I had all these people screaming, well, they had to do it because this shield is just too good. And I have a problem with that. And one of my main problems is I'm getting the sense that, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it's sort of looking likely that a lot of single-player stuff is going to be reduced. Your single player, that's what I'm worried about, is the single player experience is going to be detrimentally fucked with for the sake of online player versus player. And that's the way it looks to me so far. Now I don't know that for sure. Oh, that's right, I can't use that bonfire. What the hell was I doing? I don't even remember. It's been a very long time. Did I buy supplies? Is that what I was doing? What do I have? I don't know. But anyway, something that's, it's been bothering me because it looks pretty likely. And one thing that I'm kind of worried about, I can't even use these. One thing I'm worried about is I don't want to get the Diablo 2 thing. For those of you who didn't play that game, and which I doubt, pretty much everyone seems to have played that game. The thing with Diablo 2 is every time you would turn around, they would fuck with the game. Maybe you wouldn't play for a couple of weeks, or you did, and then you got online. My thing with patches is just fix the fucking problems, leave my goddamn game alone. But if you hung around Diablo 2 long enough, which was the only PC game I ever really played, they changed that game so many times. Every time you would turn around, they would be constantly, we gotta rebalance this, and this was nerfed, and this was brought up. You can't fucking do it. You can't possibly make, the only way you could make everything balanced, let's say in this game, is if no more items. Just your starting equipment. That's all you get. That would be the only way you could possibly have it balanced, and even that wouldn't be that balanced. I don't remember what I was going to do. What was I doing? Guess I can kill these guys again for the paltry amount of souls, now that I'm kind of rambling. But, I don't know if it's true, but it might not impact single player at all, but I doubt that. Literally everything on this was just nerf, nerf, nerf. And I'm, listening to people talk, I guess one of the big things they're getting rid of is the ninja flippy ring. That's getting changed somehow. I don't even care. Like I said, I think this would be a lot better game if they didn't have so much focus on the online component, because it just causes problems. pretty much like any online, I didn't want to kick, I want to slash. Pretty much like any online component, people are going to find out what they have to do to get an advantage to win. And my thing is, even if you, let's say you take all the items that are good right now, and you make them suck, well then that makes the remaining stuff good, which is what everyone's going to use. And then what are you going to do then? I mean, are you going to nerf all that stuff too? I mean, what's your options here? I mean, the whole thing is, well, it's gonna encourage variety. You know, now people are gonna have to pick different things than what they're picking now. I'm like, oh, okay, but then they're just gonna have all the same stuff of what's good now. You're not seeing that, and I don't really, you know, I wouldn't even care. And my big thought was, well, maybe I just won't bother with the DLC. I just won't buy it. I don't have to worry about it, right? But something tells me that one way or another, even if you don't buy the DLC, there's going to be an update for this game that will have the changes. And the reason I think that it's going to happen is, how else could they manage it? I mean, you couldn't have servers for, like, the people who have the DLC and the people who don't. You know, one where you're going to have it together. So, and you can't force everyone to buy the DLC unless it was free and you got it, you know, it just updated automatically, which wouldn't happen, obviously. So I just really, you know, there's probably going to be a patch. They'll call it a patch, whatever. Like, you know, and as I'm sitting there reading, like, environmental weapons are getting a nerf, a lot of rings are getting messed with, a lot of helms, some masks, some crap I haven't even found, basically. And the Eagle Shield is the only thing I've found so far that I'm using. And as I'm reading this, apparently, you know, because this is a wooden shield, it, you know, people say, oh, it's too good for the fact that you only need 16 strength to use it, and it's not that heavy, and why would anyone else use a great shield other than that one? Okay, well, my thing is, you don't bring items down, you bring the other ones up. If you get, you know, what I'm getting at here. You know, instead of making another item suck and go, well, now your item sucks, so you have to use it. The only other, I think the Great Shield after this requires 30 strength to wield. So let's say you're like what I was, a sorcerer. You know, having a nice, strong defensive shield at a low strength level because you're focusing on other things makes perfect sense to me. But apparently, you know, other people are like, well, you know, it's a typical Dark Souls bullshit where people, I mean, go on and on about that. And it makes me just want to take a staple gun and just shoot them in the eyeballs. It's so goddamn irritating. Here I am not even paying attention. It really bothers me. I think, you know, the thing is, I don't hate this game. I'm just not particularly impressed by it. You know, I base a lot of my standards, but it is the community of this game, at least what you see on GameFAQs. Like when I watched this guy, I mean, this guy posted something about the Eagle Shield, and people just got on his ass. You know, you're crying, dry your tears. You know, you stop being such a baby. And I'm sitting there, and stuff like that just really earns my ire. I mean, I really start to hate things like that. And because, I really hate at least the GameFAQs community of this game. And that hate kind of turns outward. It's like, well, I can't hurt them. So I just kind of start to hate the game. And this has happened to me like every time I've started to kind of, you know, like, oh, Dark Souls isn't too bad. I kind of want to play that. And then, you know, I'll you know, read a message from some stuff, and I just get pissed off. Like, really pissed off. And I don't have to, like, break shit, but I just kind of sit there and go, you know, you guys are fucking annoying, and you're really dumb. Because people, not everyone, by the way, but there are a lot of very vocal people on message boards, and they have the people that basically been sending me hate mail, kind of like, not from GameFAQs, but I've gotten some stuff on YouTube, some PMs, that just like they wrap this game around their dick and they're just beating their dick as hard as they can over this game. And it's a pretty competent game so far. I mean, I have a lot of complaints, but we'll get into that. But it's like people who treat this game like it's a college dissertation, and they go on, and they just these snobby, wordy book posts about this, and anyone who says anything different, they just it's your typical online crap. But there's something interesting that I'm catching with this game, and it just seems to be around the certain buzzwords. I notice how I'm pretty sure I've already seen this, but I notice how it's constantly people are being accused of crying. They're always crying because they might say, hey, I don't really like a certain part of this game. Oh, you're a baby. Quit crying. You suck. Get better. And it's your typical game shit. But for some reason, with this one, it bugs me even more. Because, I mean, I've seen the level of snobbery over this game is actually more than I've ever seen for any fighting game I've ever played. Usually you get that, it's kind of a fighting game PC mix. Because on one hand, you get the PC. I've probably already been through this, but like I said, Dad's in the hospital, broken neck, spinal damage. I'm playing this fucking game. So you're just going to have to listen to me ramble because, I don't know. I got nothing else to do. But, you got the fighting game situation where they act like what they're doing, playing this game, how they play this game really matters. Which is something you usually only get from fighting game shit. Oh, that hurt. And then you got the PC gamer kind of thing, where it's like they are this master race that are better than everyone else because, normally it's because, in PC stuff, because they play the PC. And I'm like way out of practice here. But I mean, it's just been something that's really kind of irritates me about this game. Because I'm a real heavy, that shouldn't even hurt me, I'm a real heavy single player guy. And my thing is, let's say I start to like this game. I just want to play my game. I do not want to have to be sitting here every month, every couple of months, and like, what is From Software going to change now? What items are they going to fuck with? And even if it's nothing really bad, they're still impacting my game for shit I don't care about. Now, I understand this is, like it or not, an multiplayer online game. There's nothing you can do about it. That is the game. And I'm just hitting the shield here. That's just how it's going to be. And I understand that. I don't like it, but I understand it. Getting real tired of using this. That should not have fucking hurt me. Why is it that you get hurt when they're not even hitting you? I don't understand that. I guess it's the old video game shockwave thing, but it really bugs the piss out of me. This game's really wonky physics also bother me quite a bit. The ice skate feet thing where they turn around without even moving their legs. And I know you out there know what I'm talking about because I'm sure you've seen it too. I think I wanted to buy arrows. I think that's why I left here, but now I can't remember. So whatever. We're just killing mooks. One thing about this game is it's going for, let's say, a more realistic approach to combat. And yet at the same time, I find that your character's bound by physics that the game isn't. Like, one of the reasons I had somebody ask me, why am I using a great shield? I can't parry. And, parrying is the thing. Well, the thing is, I don't really care about parrying. And I'm also more comfortable blocking than I am dodging. Because I'm noticing with the dodging, see, it's something with the way my brain works. I sit there and I go, okay, when I see them start to swing, I react. Because in my